guys, it is Sabrina and I am coming at you with my TBR prompt jar so that I can pick my February TBR. Spoiler alert, this isn't a spoiler at all actually. Background information is the more appropriate term to use there. I already did this yesterday and then I went to edit it and I realized that all of the audio was like fucked up. So I'm filming this for a second time. I'm going to be choosing different prompts and different books, but if I'm not as excited about it, that's why. And because I got a really decent like TBR going last time, so I'm like scared to do it over again, but I will do it over again so that you don't have to listen to like awful audio footage, and that's what I wanted to let you know. So I'm really excited about this though. If you don't know, what I do for these TBR prompt jar videos is I choose out 10 prompts and I choose 10 corresponding books to go with each prompt. And that's my TBR for the month. I don't do a great job at following it. I always at least read like a good amount. Maybe not even a good amount. I always at least read a couple books off of the TBR that month. I will say January, I did a really good job at following my TBR, so I think you'll be shocked when you see my January wrap-up video. But I'm trying to do better, and I'm hoping that I'll pick a really good TBR, so just like pray for me, and let's get started. Let's choose our first prompt. I'm scared. I'm scared I'm not going to get as nice of a TBR as I got last time. Okay. Honestly, could be worse. Not like my favorite prompt to get. A mass market paperback. Okay, so that basically just means like fantasy, because I really don't think I have any other mass market paperbacks. And if you don't know what I mean by that, a mass market paperback, I'm grabbing the first one I see. It's like one of these. Like one of these really like cheapo ones. I don't want to read this one, I can tell you that. What do I want to read though? I mean, I could continue on with the Wheel of Time series, but I have no memory of these books anymore. I do really love these like really old style fantasy covers. I just love the art on them, and I love that you can tell that's like hand drawn. I think they're beautiful, honestly, even though they're a little cringy. I don't think I want to go with these though, to be honest, so I'll put these back. It was just the first book I saw. This is actually a really hard prompt. I need to stand up. I'm always like, whenever I'm filming these TBR videos, I'm always talking to the camera or like my back turned or like I'm not in the frame at all. The book I think I'm going to go for is Wolfskin by Juliette Marillier. This book follows a young Viking warrior, and that's all I know. What I do know is that Juliette Marillier, it's like, she writes books I either love or hate. Like, I absolutely adore Daughter of the Forest. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I'm scared that if I reread it, it won't be, but in my mind, it's still a favorite book. And I loved her writing in that book. But I have, like, absolutely hated some of the books she's put out. And this is, like, one of the last ones by her that I have to read. It does have, like, one of those classic fantasy covers that's drawn. And I really like the spine on this one in particular. I love that, like, painting of a face. I don't know why. So, I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to give it a shot. And if I don't like it, I can always put it down and get rid of it forever. So, this is book number 1. And let's choose prompt number 2. I like that I don't have to hold a mic anymore, because you can see that I'm actually, like, shuffling it and actually trying to get, like, turning around the prompts in my hand. That doesn't make any sense. Ooh, okay, this one's fun. A book with pink on the cover. Now, what I didn't say in the beginning of this video is that I really want to read every single one of the new books that I got for Christmas. And I can't do that because it's like 30 books or something. But I really want to get as many of those as possible on this TBR. So let's try to find one with pink on it, which I don't think I have, if I'm being honest. Ooh, that one maybe. Is that purple though? Oh, that's definitely pink and purple. It's a little more purple. I'm gonna go with this one, I think, because I don't think there's any other pink books I really want to read. Unless, ooh, okay. I only have a dust jacket for this other one, but the first one I was talking about is Fruit of the Dead by Rachel Leon. This is a retelling of like the Hades and Persephone myth, but it's set in a contemporary setting, and it follows this girl who gets an offer from this very rich man to like babysit for him or something like that, but she has to sign an NDA, and she can't tell anyone where she's going, and then her mother freaks out. I don't know what about this is interesting to me, but something about it is. So this is an option. The other option I only have the dust jacket for, because I did start reading this one. I had to put it down because I'm filming a reading vlog right now. But that is The Reformatory by Tanana Reeve Dew. This is a historical horror book, and it follows a young black boy who was sent to a reformatory, which is basically like a prison, and his sister's trying to get him out. I've only read the first like 10 pages or something like that, so I don't really know where the book is going. But I think I'm going to choose this one, because now that I'm talking about it, I do really want to get to this one. So symbolically, I'm going to lay this dust jacket by the rest of the books, and this will be book number 2. Sorry, Fruit of the Dead. I will get to you at some point. Prompt number 3. Oh no. Okay. I don't think I ever got this prompt before. This is a book released before you were born. Revealing my age, I was born in 98. So, let's try to find an old book, because I'm old now. Which really sucks, because a lot of the books that I just got from Christmas are like newer-ish books, and I really want to read those so bad. But this one won't count for that, I guess. I don't even think I have any books from the 90s. I think I have to go with like a really old book. Okay, I have 2 options I'm thinking of. Let me bring them both up, because I'm just stacking them on the floor over here. Okay, so first my mind went to a classic, and that is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I picked this one up because Jane Austen, like, I've read before, and I know she's like an easy read, so it's not like as scary of a classic. And there's also her take on like the gothic romance novel. I know it's like, I want to say sarcastic, that's not the right word. I can't think of the right word, but I think you know what word I'm talking about. I think it starts with an S. Not sarcastic. God, that's gonna drive me crazy. I don't know. Anyway, this is her take on that. I love a gothic romance novel. Even if she's not taking it completely seriously, I want to see what she does with it. So this is option number 1. The only downfall of this one is that it is a romance. I'm like not in a romance mood. But the other book I picked out is Life of Picasso by Francois Gillot and Carlton Lake. This was published in the 60s. This is an NYRB book, so a New York Review book, which is like a publisher that I really want to get into. So this is a nonfiction about like a girl that was with Picasso. I would love to learn more about Picasso. Something about this just sounds so interesting to me. It is a nonfiction, which is nice because I'm trying to read more nonfiction lately. So the more I'm talking about it, the more I think I'm leaning towards this one. So this is going to be book number 3. Okay, prompt 4. I wish you could see my room because there's just books all over the floor because I've just been throwing them on the floor. Okay. A book title that starts with a vowel. That sucks. I don't know why that sucks, but I'm not into it. That's not a vowel? Oh my god. I don't think any of these are vowels. Wow, it is crazy how many books do not start with a vowel. Like, okay, I have 2 very different books here. The first I found was Upstream by Mary Oliver. This is a collection of essays written by a very famous poet. I know that her poetry has a lot to do with like the beauty of nature, so this sounds just like really pretty. I do already have a nonfiction on the TBR though, so I'm not really leaning towards this one, but I'm also not leaning towards this one. This is O Caledania by Elspeth Barker. This is a gothic novel. I don't really remember what it's about. I know it's about like a young girl that dies in the beginning of the novel, I believe, or is like leading up to her death, or it has to do with a young girl's death. That's all I know. And for some reason, I'm just not really feeling it, but I'm not really feeling this one either. I was gonna like put them behind my back and just kind of like go like this a bunch and choose one randomly, but they feel very different, so I can't do that. Let me see if there's any other books that could possibly make this list. Yeah, no. This one isn't ideal either, but I think I might be leaning towards this, which is kind of crazy. This is A People's Guide to Capitalism, An Introduction to Marxist Economics by Hadass Thier. This is a book about Marxist economics, and I'm like scared to read anything about economics because I've never taken like an economics class or anything, and I have this fear that's gonna be like way too heavy for me and I'm not gonna understand it. But I think almost that's the reason I need to read something like this. Like, this is supposed to be an easy guide to it, and I think it'll give me a basis that will help me when I try to read like Capital or something like much heavier. And after reading Asada's biography last month, spoiler alert for my wrap up, I've just like, I want to be reading more Marxist shit. Like, it just inspired me so much, and it really made me realize how much I have to learn. So the more I'm talking about it, the more I think I'm gonna put this one on the list. So this is our second nonfiction of the TBR, but I think I'm gonna go with it. This is book number 4. Okay, book number 5. Let's dig in. I'm taking so long to do this, but I really want to have a good month, so I really want to take my time picking the books. Okay, this one's great. This one's great. A book that was a gift. That means I can read any of the books I got for Christmas. So that's really exciting. Which book do I want to read, though? Okay, I found it, but I'm digging for it, just to keep you updated. I found two. Okay, so it's between these two books. The first is The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. This is a World War One, right? I think it's World War One historical fantasy book. It follows these twins, and a girl and a boy, and the girl receives news that her boy twin brother was killed. I shouldn't be laughing as I say that. But she's determined that that isn't true. So she joins the forces as a medic to figure out what actually happened to her brother. And the other one I have here is The Will of the Many by James Islington. This is a beefy book. But this book, all I really know about is that the magic system is based on like hierarchy. So you have like this will that you can give, but like the people who are higher up with more power have more will and like make the lower people give them their will, something like that. So, historical fiction or heavy fantasy. I've heard great things about both of these books and they're both very high on my list. But looking at this, the Juliette Marillier is a fantasy, but it's kind of like a historical fantasy because it's about Vikings and stuff. So I think I'm going to go with The Will of the Many just to have something a little bit different. In my mind, it's different even though it's also a fantasy. So I'm going to put this on the list. So that was book number 5. Let's go for 6. Oh my god. Okay. Already have 2 on the list, but why not add another? This prompt says a nonfiction book. I was going to say list. A nonfiction book. I feel like I gotta choose an easy one because A People's Guide, Capitalism, or whatever seems like it's gonna be heavy. Life of Picasso is also like an older book, so I'm a little worried that it's gonna be a harder read. Just like I don't know how easy the writing is gonna be to read. I think I'm gonna go with a memoir, and I think the memoir I'm gonna go with is I Am, 17 Brushes with Death by Maggie O'Farrell. I've never read anything by Maggie O'Farrell before. She's like a very beloved author, I know that. This is her memoir, and it talks about 17 occasions that she stared death in the face. And that has just sounded so interesting to me ever since the moment I heard of it. I think because it's a memoir, it'll be like a little bit easier to get lost into, a little bit easier to pick up, and it's different than the other two, even though Life with Picasso is almost kind of memoir-ish, I'm thinking in my head. I'm gonna go with this one. So this is gonna be book number 6. Okay, let's prompt number 7. Oh, I got 2. Okay, so there's always 7 and 8 then. And there's a hair stuck to them. That's lovely. I need to redo these prompts so bad. Oh my god. Okay. This like almost screams nonfiction. This is a book inspired by a historical event. It screams nonfiction, but maybe I can get a historical fiction on there instead. Except I don't have many historical fictions. Although, the gasp I just let out. Although, The Warm Hands of Ghosts takes place in World War One, so I'm going to count this as it. I'm going to say it's inspired by World War One because it kind of has to be, like, given that it takes place in that time period. I'm sure she did a lot of research. I'm sure there's a reason she said it in that time period. This is going to be book number 7. I'm so excited, actually, to get this on my list as well. And then prompt number 8 is the one that already fell out, the one that didn't have the hair on it, so that's good. Ooh, okay. A book that has won an award. So instantly my mind goes to Demon Copperhead. Well, this has won the Pulitzer. So this is a really good option, but what else? This is also historical fiction, isn't it? I'm getting a lot of like historical books on the list. I just can't think of any other books that have won a prize. You know what? No, I'm gonna go with this one because this is the book I'm excited to read. This is Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I didn't say the author's name last time, so I'm saying it this time. This is historical fiction, I believe. It's like a loose retelling of David Copperfield, I think is his name, something like that. Whatever, the Charles Dickens novel, you know what I'm talking about. But it takes place in Appalachia, and it talks a lot about addiction. That's all I know, but people have been raving about this book for so long and want to be in on it. So this is going to be book number 8. That's actually a very fun addition. I'm excited about this TBR. I'm getting very excited. Okay, book 9. Well, prompt 9. Okay, I'm into this. A science fiction book. You can't really read that, can you? I tried. Okay, this was exciting because we don't have any science fiction on the list. So let me grab a couple. Because I can't control myself. Okay, the 2 that I instantly thought of is, first of all, 10 minutes, 38 seconds in This Strange World. This book, in the beginning of the novel, the main character dies, and you're following, like, the 10 minutes she still has, like, consciousness, and it follows her life story. All about her life story is that she was a prostitute, but it sounds really interesting. I've heard good things. And the other book is Antibot. This follows, like, a sex robot. So these are both very different to the ones I have down, but in this moment it's like hard because they're both very different science fiction type books, Are there any other science fiction I could go with? I think these are the two I'm most interested in right now. I'm gonna go with 10 minutes, 38 seconds. I don't know what it is. I do still really want to read Antibot, but for some reason this one's like calling my name a little more. So I'm gonna go with this one. And that's book 9, right? So one more prompt and then we're done. That's sad. I'm having fun. I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting a much better TBR this time than I did last time, but there is one book that I really want to read this month that I have not been able to get on this TBR. So let's hope that this one is like a literary fiction novel or a big book or something like that, because I really want to get the bee sting on here. Oh my god. Oh my god. God is real and he loves me. I say as a devout atheist, a popular book. I'm getting the book I want on the list. The book that I wanted to put on this list is The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. This is a very popular book. I've heard a lot of people talking about it. All I know is that it's like a family saga, and it ties like all these families back to this bee sting that happened on the wedding day or something. Like all these families' issues back to that bee sting, I mean to say. I have no idea really what it's about, but that intrigues me, and I want to read it. I'm so excited to get this on the TBR. So this is going to be book number 10. And then real quick, I will try to lift all these for you so you can see them all together. So these are all the books except for the reformatory, which is in a different room. I don't feel like getting it. Oh, you can't see. Now you can see. There are some big books on the TBR this month. But I'm excited about pretty much all of these. I'm like really excited about this actually. I think it's a really good mix. And I think the book sounds really good. So, hell yeah. There you go. That is my February TBR. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which book I should read first down below. If you're writing these, if you have an opinion, let me know. Tell me if Wolfskin by Juliette Marillier sucks, because I'm scared about that one. I think that's the one I have the most like anxiety about on this list. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Goodbye!